fairness in its proceedings, all compassion and patience in its dealings, and the best vision of civil society to which we can aspire after the model of your divine kingdom. May all who gather here this day and this season come with respect for all and go forth in peace. I ask this blessing in the name of the Trinity by which I know thee best, of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Starks.
Here.
Magistrate Berry.
Here.
Magistrate Southard.
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Magistrate Putman.
Here.
Gentlemen, you have in your packet the minutes of the April 14th, 2026 Fiscal Court meeting. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other corrections, clarifications, additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Our final Judges Scholar of the school year is with us. Jay Gilbert from Jefferson Elementary School is going to join me right here in front. We're going to read a proclamation in your honor.
Okay. Whereas Jaya Gilbert has been chosen by Jefferson Elementary School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Jaya's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas the Henderson County school system could not let Jaya's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students such as Jaya will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim April 28, 2026 as Jaya Gilbert Day. Yeah, of course.
I said, we've never felt looked too used like that for a scholar.
Look at this little.
Come on up in there, Granddad.
All right, love it. All right. Ready to speak? Sure. You paused it.
Thank you, Chip.
That's yours. You might need it.
You took Nick's job.
Thank you, Chip. And congratulations, Jaya and the team at Spotsville, and to your family. I'm sure you're proud, and we're proud of you.
Jefferson.
What? Spotsville. Sorry, Jefferson. Jaguars. We're glad you're with us. It's great to see so much family come out and support Jaya. And I always love it when they have to back up a little bit because we have so many people in the picture. I like that. It takes a village. So, welcome. And now we get into the less exciting stuff. So hang in there. Mr. Gold, our county attorney, will do a play-by-play for you and fill you in. I always joke that you have to resist the urge to vote, as I know you want to, but you can't do that. So. But anyway, congratulations to everyone. Okay, first order of business is an update on the airport ditching project, which dates back almost a decade. And I'd like Emily Herron and Alan Bennett and Buzzy Newman, if he'd like to come up and fill in some members of the court who were not around in 2018. But if you want to come up to the podium. So as a way of kind of giving a brief explanation, back when this project started in 1943,
Something like that.
one of the points of contention was a drainage ditch that led from a portion of the airport property to Pond Creek.
Correct.
And in dealing with the families who owned the ground at the time, and even though we were in our easement, there was some contention about the construction of that ditch and its effect on Pond Creek and other things. And in eventually reaching the settlement, which I think you're all aware of with the Williams family, one of the things we agreed to do was to rebuild that ditch in a way that pleased them and still provided the drainage we needed. And we are at that point where it's time to do that after all these years.
That was part of our settlement in the Owensboro federal court case
Right.
that was attached to all of this. Hesitate to go for too much history. It started as a Delta Regional Authority grant. We dug a drainage ditch. It really does intercept a lot of water for the airport and helps to drain water from Geneva. We now have bids in hand. We opened bids Monday, yesterday morning at 10 o'clock. Low bid was $73,070 and some cents. And that's the same contractor that we've got working out there on our big project, on the federal project where we've extended the runway and done some more improvements. I have a change order in place with him, and he is now cleaning vegetation, realigning the flow line in that ditch, and doing some enhancements so that water flow will be improved. I'm asking the court to authorize Brad to sign a construction contract with AA Services, a successful low bidder. Steve, I'll get you a copy of the contract from Frank when he gets it to me, so that you can review that. It'll be one-sided in favor of fiscal court. I mean, that's pretty typical of construction contracts, but that's kind of where we are. That's what.
And I think our third is about 38.
Your third would be in the neighborhood of 31.
31. Okay.
Frank was 21.7, I believe, on all of design services, permitting, and he did the survey for us, the advertisement for bids, the bid opening with us yesterday morning. I think each, the city, the court, and the airport had about 7,000 and change that went for design services. And 73,000 three ways is sub 25,000. That's
Right.
what we've been kind of using, batting around as a number for each of our contributions to resolving this court case.
And splitting it three ways was our agreement back when we started. So, it's got to be done, part of our settlement families. So I guess I'm looking to a vote for approve me signing this contract pending Steve's review and approving that allocation to pay our third.
So move.
Motion is second. Any other questions? And I'll ask again, I've asked this before. After this, are we done?
Sound familiar, Alan?
For this ditch part, yes, that will be the conclusion
Okay.
of the ditching project.
Okay. And the airport runway, we're done?
We're getting real close.
Our financial obligation, the county's
It's
financial
the
obligation.
same, I mean, it didn't change, hadn't changed.
It's still ongoing, the project is still ongoing. They're finishing up some minor things. They're paving part of the taxiway this week, doing the final markings on the runway. We've got to put sod down, finish some seeding, a couple other minor things on the project. The bulk of that will be done by year end.
So we're going to be getting some more invoices?
Yes, but I mean, we're still under what was
Okay.
projected.
Okay,
But yes, there's definitely still some work on.
okay,
that, so.
all right, just so I know.
Yeah, we're trying to get final check.
Okay,
Alan's laughing because we walked in, I met him on the street. I heard his pitch out there. So.
Emily, do you have an estimate in your mind about how much more we've got to go, the county's responsibility?
Honestly, I have to.
Tanya
have
can
to-
get you a
Yeah,
spreadsheet
I'll
that'll show
send a
exactly where we
spreadsheet
are
over to
with
you
the
to show you
project.
where we are and then what we still have left to go. Because everything we have left we should have knowledge of all.
It's
of
all
those
within the
costs.
approved parameters
Yes.
Yeah.
budget-wise. We're still on budget and in budget.
Yes.
Right. I remember, Buzzy in his wisdom helped us to apply for that grant for grants. And if I remember correctly, that covered a very large portion of what the city and county were committed to. But apparently, we've still got some more to go.
Very minor amount left to pay, to my memory.
Yes.
The one question I do have regarding the ditch contract, y'all will be the contract holder. And can we get Brenda to invoice us so we can pay you? Is that how it's gonna,
Yeah, I don't.
court's
yeah.
gonna pay double A?
This is gonna be a single payout. It's 30-day, Frank left 30-day window open for completion of construction, so we only anticipate paying one time.
But they're-
They'll send both of us.
So
invoices.
our check is going to be for ours and the cities?
You're gonna sign a contract for the full amount.
Okay.
But you're gonna send an invoice to him, and you're gonna send an invoice to me for our
So
third.
we're writing a check for $71,000.
73,070
Okay.
is the amount on the contract.
Brenda?
She ran out of the room.
Crying.
I just want to make sure that we have enough time to turn this around and get it paid by this fiscal year, which means end of June. And
Should. I don't see a problem with that.
Brenda, have you heard what they were describing? Okay. Any problems? Okay. We'll do that. And we'll try to take care of that quickly, pending that contract to Steve. See if there's anything that might be of question, but the motion is pending Steve's approval.
Correct.
We'll pay the whole amount and get a, can I,
So when are they
amend
gonna
the-
get that to, Steve?
can
When are they
I,
gonna get the final amount to us, so we don't put Brenda in the bind?
it'll be on the contract, correct? Total amount?
Total amount.
I'm talking about what else we owe, the final piece of it.
The ditching project is separate from the.
Right.
Yeah. it's-
Right, I get that. I was just curious about the other part too, so we know.
As soon as you can, if you can get estimates to us.
Yeah, I'll get a spreadsheet today and
Yeah.
have
Right.
over what we anticipate. I don't have invoices.
Sure,
so
no,
I-
I was just
Yeah,
asking
we
about
have
the final
total,
amount,
the
right,
exact
yeah.
number, but yeah, I'll send
Gotcha.
it over today.
So if I can get an amended motion, who made the motion?
I did.
Giving us okay to, pending approval of the contract, pay the entire amount up front and get reimbursement from the airport and the city.
So move.
A second on that. Mr. Gold, any concerns or thoughts on that motion?
Quicker I can get that contract, the better.
Okay, any other questions?
I have one for Emily. The property you purchased across from the Geneva store,
Yes.
we're not getting it mowed.
You what?
It's not being mowed. Could we get that cut?
Yes, we're trying to get it demoed, so
Okay.
we're in the process of that, but yes, I can get it mowed in the meantime, so.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Can I get let's see. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll get on it.
Thank you.
Buzzy, while I've got you,
Yes.
I wanted Buzzy to fill us in on a request the city's going to have of us regarding the second visit to our community of military medical personnel. We're going to use our, both Henderson County and Union County, I believe.
And Webster.
And Webster County for training. And part of that benefit to the community is free medical care while they're here, and dental care, I believe,
Yes.
and even veterinary care. Is that part of it again this year?
I'll explain that in a
Okay,
minute.
but
So-
there is an ask of the county this time around, so I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, the program, which we applied through the Delta Regional Authority, is called Innovative Readiness Training, and it involves all branches of the military, in which they will spend 2 weeks in Henderson, Union, and Webster County. And as we did the first go-around approximately 2 years ago, provided medical, physical, appointments with citizens. It's at no cost to our citizens. They do provide certain limited prescriptions at no cost. We also provided vision along with glasses and prescription lenses as needed, as well as they also brought in a mobile dental RV and also had in place dental services inside of South Junior High. Along with that, we also had veterinarian services. However, this program year, they were not able to secure enough staff for veterinarian services. So they tried really hard, but the vets were not in a position to come. So with that being said, we're going to spend the entire 2 weeks in Henderson, but part of the mission will be in Union County the first week, and then that group will move to Webster County the second week of the period they're here. So what we agreed to up front when we made application is through the Green River Area District ad, we requested $15,000 from Webster Union, and now we'll make the same request of Henderson County. The city is putting up $35,000, and we'll be managing the project not only with city staff but also with Kenny Garrett. He was instrumental in helping coordinating getting sleeping cots and other items. I will say, Judge, we have been approached by the military about 2 weeks ago about disaster response. And they have asked us in 2028, which we will have to apply this fall, is for Henderson County to be the first county in the country to sponsor a recovery project that would involve typically a flooding project. So that is something else I'd like for y'all to consider going forward. What that means, I'm not sure, because the military doesn't know what that means, but they want to work with us to help basically the people in rural parts of Henderson County that were harmed by the floodings, a year or so ago.
And this is training, or is this?
It is training.
Okay.
But what they bring with it is, for example, maybe you have flooded out houses and the property owners may have walked away from them because of no insurance and no financial means to repair them. They could go in and tear them down and remove all the debris, but they bring the manpower to do it. Or if you've got a road project that you need done, they can do that. So it's more of a civil project involving engineers or the CBs to do that. So it's something else to consider going forward.
Look forward to learning more about that.
Yeah.
Because I do think we still have blighted properties out there because of the flood.
Well, again, the call came from the Pentagon, and I think they think that, we're a good partner for them, and they've asked us to consider that in 2028. So we'll continue that conversation with Kenny and probably Nick Stallings over the next 3 or 4 months.
back to the original question.
The 15,000.
15,000 to help this project. I will say the first iteration of this 2 years ago was very popular. A lot of people were served from all over the county, and it sounds like they're expanding it now, and it's a worthy thing, and we're lucky that we've been a good enough partner, especially the city in Kenny Garrett, that they're back. They can do this anywhere. It's helping our citizens. So, I'm eager for your thoughts.
Well, I know it was a very positive, you heard nothing but great things. And so at some days, I live across the street from that, so I know it was kind of, it got kind of congested. I know Bill was over there too as well. And Judge, you went in over there as well too, over there, didn't you? And kind of visited.
Quick tour.
Yeah. So, I think it's a very positive thing. It's well worth 15,000 for all the free services you can get.
So the reason for the request is the military as well as local, we cannot secure shower facilities and laundry facilities. So we've had to go out and procure those items, which is going to amount to about $50,000. So it's more than half of the allocated budget for the program, but the Delta Regional was going to give us $25,000 to help offset some of the expenses.
And I think a lot of them live in they're housed in the hotels and stuff as well, aren't they? In restaurants, they eat in restaurants, yeah.
They do.
Yeah, so they spend money here.
They do.
While they're here.
And they also engage into the community. I will say that Henderson Flash had a major that was a weekly attendee of the ball games and actually helped call some of the ball games. So he's now moved on to the Pentagon, but plans on flying in to MC one of the games.
So let me get to, right now you're asking for 15,000?
Yes, sir.
I move we,
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I'll say this real quick, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me the number $6 million worth of services were provided the last time they were here. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, that's correct.
yeah, I
So the
think you're
return
right.
on investment on this is tremendous.
Yep.
And again, there were people there that otherwise might not have gotten the type of care, and the care was top-notch. Plus, this says a lot about our community as a whole. I believe this is very rare for them to come back as quickly as they are. And I think a lot of that goes back to how they were received here and how Henderson stepped up the first time. So, again, I think this is well worth the ask. And I commend you folks for getting this lined up again.
Well, everything you said is true, and I think that's the reason they're coming back and also offered to come back in 28.
Like
the people that come out to the last one was great. I mean, lots of people, but I'd like to try to maybe put up some more money for some advertising just so more people know about it.
We're working on that, but we have money budgeted
Okay.
for that. So.
Okay, because the last time, like I said, it was a great turnout, but there were people that didn't know about it. So if we could get it out better to let them take advantage of these services, but I'm 100% on board with this.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
For
Thank
your
you, Buzzy.
support.
Thank you,
Buzzy.
Next, we have the recommendations of the city-county allocation team, and Chairman Jack Brewer is with us, and want to first off say thank you to everybody who volunteers to participate in that process where we review potential donations to nonprofits in our community. And I know that we had multiple times the number of asks than we actually had money budgeted for, so it's not an easy task to whittle that down. So, Jack, thank you very much. And I believe members of Fiscal Court, Tim, are you a part of that group?
I think I am.
Yeah. And Bill?
Bill.
Okay, gotcha. Taylor.
These two
Gotcha.
are
So,
just
with
on the
that,
board.
you have your list in front of you, and I'll let Jack give us a briefing.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Jack Brewer. I'm the Environmental and Security Manager at Audubon Metals here in Henderson. I'm also the chair of the city-county grant allocations team. First of all, thank you, Bill, Miss Brenda, Taylor, and Kurt for being part of the team. We have we had 13 folks from the city and county government and also from the community that helped with this grant allocations to make our recommendations of how the not-for-profits receive and in the events that occur within Henderson County on an annual basis, how those services are provided as best as we can. This is just a recommendation to the court. See, as you see fit, the change. There were a couple of applications that came in late, and unfortunately, with our parameters and guidelines, we don't allow late applications. So, FYI, you may get they have been contacted and let it known that they can address the court for their needs. For the year, we recommend a total grant allocation of $135,000 from the County of Henderson.
And I don't know if many of you have had a chance to review all the applicants. Some are very familiar names. There's some new ones on here. As is typical, many of them asked for a whole lot, and don't blame them for doing that.
Yeah, we tried to spread it as best as we can based on the needs in Henderson. But you're correct, there were several new ones, applicants as well.
Welcome any input or perspective from Taylor or Magistrate Starks.
I think there's always, more money to be needed, but this group of people weighs everything out fairly and equally, and there's discussion had and the decision made. I have nothing to add other than I support the decision that was made for the recommendation.
I agree, and I think this is one of the really most important things we do each year, and I think we're following the guidelines, and what our goals were when this was first set up is to make sure that there's proper vetting and that there's transparency, and also, we, as Taylor mentioned, we try to make sure that the money gets spread out, and again, if an agency isn't getting the top amount that they asked for, that's not a reflection on them at all. We could have given away twice that much money if we'd had it. So our resources are limited. We did the best we could to try to address the needs in our community. And again, in the environment we live in right now with inflation and everything else going up, I think the committee did.
Still a tremendous amount of money and a lot of help.
I mean, yeah, it's going to make a big impact on our community in the end.
Very much
and so. No, I appreciate everything that you've done, and Kelsey at the United Way and the rest of the team. I feel very good about this recommendation.
Yeah, the assistance from United Way, they house us during our meetings. Also, they help us with the application process electronically to get that distributed, and also information meetings so that everybody gets as clear as the application information as possible.
And I think it was mentioned during the meetings that we're getting now a lot more information exactly of how this money is proposed to be spent, and each one of these will now be required to report back.
Correct.
Once this, allocation is filed.
Within 6 months of the monies being allocated, there is a check and balance requirement just to validate and verify that the money is being spent according to what was put in the application. And there are, unfortunately, repercussions for those that do not send in those expenditure reports.
And a reminder for everyone, there's no statutory requirement for the county to do this at all, to make donations to nonprofits. There are many counties in the state that do not go down this road, but as we always have, because we know that these organizations provide services to the community that we cannot in various forms, and it's worth our investment to help provide those things to our community. And the work of the committee really helps that, so thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I guess we could entertain a vote to approve these recommendations.
Make the motion. I'll second.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Jack.
Next, Dr. Dick Wom has been on the airport board since before I was born, I believe. And his service to the airport is without question, and he's always been very active, enthusiastic about the future of the airport, developing the airport. And he has finally decided to resign after literally decades and decades of service, and really appreciate him. And so we have a seat to fill, and review by Emily and others have pointed to Mark McCracken of Field and Main Bank here as a good appointment. And Emily, if you wouldn't mind coming to the podium and just offering a couple words about Mr. McCracken.
Well, I don't want to speak too much out of turn. Doran Luck, our board chair, has met with Mark and spoken with him. I know Mark, I believe, is a former Marine veteran, so he is excited and enthusiastic to join the airport board and help serve the community in that capacity. So we're excited to have him on, and of course, echoing what you said about Dr. Wom, it's a bittersweet moment to lose the institutional knowledge that Dick brought to the board and brings to the airport, but he has served us well, and it's time for him to be able to retire from that position and take care of his family at home. So we hate to see him go, but thankful for all of his years of service. But I think Mark is going to make a wonderful addition to the airport board, and like I said, anytime you have somebody that's enthusiastic and wants to come on and serve, then we're happy to have him. So,
Thank you. This is not a fiscal court appointment. This is a joint
city
judge executive and mayoral appointment. So just letting you know, we're gonna nominate Mark McCracken to take this chair, and hopefully the city will act this afternoon and
Yes.
and get him on his way. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay. We have received the recommendation from the Henderson City County Planning Commission on our request to develop language around a moratorium on applications for battery energy storage system projects. And I hope you've had a chance to read the recommendation. To kind of paraphrase, basically they recommend the moratorium. We sent them a suggestion about the moratorium lasting until the end of this calendar year. They came back with a recommendation to have the moratorium last 2 years from the date that any ordinance we enact on this is finished, or until any updates to the ordinance are brought to us and accepted, whichever comes first. And our first order of business is to pass a vote on their recommendation, and I think you have it in front of us. I don't know if it needs to be read, but we are going to read a resolution right after this amending the ordinance. So any questions about the recommendation from the Planning Commission? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, on to the ordinance, and if you don't mind, I'd like to read this.
I don't mind.
I will, I'm sure you, I hope you had a chance to look at it, but it basically amounts to what I just said, but I will read the ordinance into the record. It's an ordinance amending the Henderson County zoning ordinance found in the Henderson County Code of Ordinances and Appendix A thereof to institute a moratorium on Tier 2 BESS systems as recommended by the Henderson City County Planning Commission, HCCPC, after public hearing conducted in compliance with KRS 100.211. Whereas Chapter 100 of the Kentucky Revised Statutes provides for adoption of zoning text and maps as well as providing for amendments. And whereas the County of Henderson and the Henderson City County Planning Commission have recognized the need for zoning regulations that promote public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community and facilitate orderly and harmonious development and the visual character of the community by enacting and amending the Henderson County Code of Ordinances Appendix A, zoning, which is incorporated into said code, and whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court previously generated proposed amended text for battery energy storage systems, or BESS, pursuant to KRS 100.211 and other applicable law, and forwarded said text to the Henderson City County Planning Commission for hearing. And whereas the Henderson City County Planning Commission conducted a public hearing thereon on March 3rd, 2026, and HCCPC provided in findings of facts and recommendation of the Henderson Fiscal Court by letter dated April 9th, 2026. And whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court voted at its regular meeting on April 28th, 2026, to accept the recommendation of HCCPC and to incorporate said recommendation into its code of ordinances pursuant to the language provided therein. And whereas in conformity with the HCCPC recommendation, the Henderson County Fiscal Court deems it in the best interest of residents of Henderson County for both the Fiscal Court and the Henderson City County Planning Commission to further analyze and study the issues presented by Tier 2 BESS installations and begin a process to review potential amendments to the zoning ordinance to strengthen the public protection and address public concerns. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court accepts the HCCPC findings of fact in this matter, which state that additional time is needed for the following reasons. The county may benefit from reviewing model ordinances and best practices from other jurisdictions. The technology and chemistry associated with best facilities continue to develop. Additional expert input may assist the county in evaluating fire suppression, safety, and potential environmental or toxicological issues, and additional time would allow more deliberate consideration of possible revisions to the current ordinance. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court accepts the recommendation of HCCPC and deems it in the best interest of the residents of Henderson County to institute the recommended 2-year moratorium on the filing, processing, review, and acceptance of all application for all, I think this is incorrect, BESS installations by the HCCPC and Henderson County Board of Zoning Adjustment in order to ensure the public health, safety, and general welfare, and to provide sufficient time for the analysis and careful consideration of the impact of BESS installations, and to provide sufficient time for such considerations to be incorporated into revisions to the Henderson City County Comprehensive Plan. Now therefore be it ordained and enacted by the Fiscal Court of Henderson, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, as follows. Appendix A, zoning of the Henderson County zoning ordinance is hereby amended by making the following amendments with deletions and bold strike through and insertions in both bold underline. A, Article 32, battery energy storage systems. Add to subsection 32.06 a moratorium. The remainder of this zoning ordinance and all other ordinance notwithstanding, there is hereby imposed a moratorium on the filing, processing, review, and acceptance by the Henderson Fiscal Court, the Henderson City County Planning Commission, Henderson County Codes Administrator, the Henderson County Board of Zoning Adjustment, or any other department, subdivision, agency, board, or commission of Henderson County government of any and all applications for rezoning, conditional use permits, and all other types of application for Tier 2 BESS projects, and BESS installations. This moratorium shall remain in effect until 2 years after this ordinance amending the Henderson County zoning ordinance, adding a new section entitled Article 32.06, moratorium by the Henderson County Fiscal Court, or until such time as the amendments to this article, if any, are approved by Henderson County Fiscal Court, whichever comes first, unless such moratorium is repealed or extended. All or parts of ordinance in conflict herein are repealed to the extent of such conflict. The provisions of this ordinance are severable, and any provisions or part thereof shall be held invalid or unconstitutional or inapplicable to any person or circumstance. Such invalidity, unconstitutionality, or inapplicability shall not affect or impair the remaining provisions of this ordinance. This ordinance shall become effective upon its passage and advertisement according to law. This is the first reading. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and I think we need
And
to
that typo's being fixed.
correct the typos
Yes.
there. So we have a motion to that effect, pending correction of the typos.
Correct.
Any other questions or additions?
First, second, okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We have another ordinance update, and this has to do with the, in response to state legislature requiring an amending of our ordinances to allow for certain placements of manufactured homes and various definitions of manufactured homes. I hope you've had a chance to read this, both the recommendation and the proposed ordinance. Again, state legislature required this to be in place by July 1, so we are following their lead. Also, the city of Henderson is considering the same issue, and in many respects, our ordinance will be very closely in line with theirs. A couple tweaks to reflect difference of situations out in the county versus in the city, and proximity of homes and other issues like that. So, first thing I'd like to do is to read the recommendation, if you don't mind. And I might hand off the ordinance to you.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't have to read it. The recommendation is before you. Any questions?
Judge, I'll note the Planning Commission did send us the originated text. They did suggest that in the future we might want to look at clarifying a couple of definitions in there. But given that the state law goes into effect July 1, it's important for us to have something in place. So since the Planning Commission didn't tweak what was being sent to us specifically, but suggested that we might look at future tweaks, any change of that text would have to go back to them and would probably have us pushing up on that July 1 deadline, or probably past it. So legally, I think it's important for us to be in compliance prior to July 1. And then that may be something we need to get in touch with Planning Commission staff about, when they would have the capacity to have future hearings to tweak those definitions that they were looking at. They were relatively minor, but which is why they didn't tweak it. Just wanted to note that for the court.
Not atypical, especially when it comes to legislation from the state, that it's an ongoing process of changing or improving or clarifying. So can I get a motion to approve the recommendation?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Let's go back and do a roll call on the BES ordinance.
Want to back up then? Okay.
Yep.
We'll do a roll call on the first reading of the BES ordinance.
Magistrate Starks.
Aye.
Magistrate Barry.
Aye.
Magistrate Southard.
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
And I'll vote aye for the record.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right. We have a approval of the zoning ordinance recommendation, right? We got to vote on that? Just took that.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll read the amended ordinance
Okay.
for manufactured homes.
Okay. Ordinance amending the Henderson County zoning ordinance found in the Henderson County Code of Ordinances and Appendix A thereof to amend various portions to allow qualified manufactured homes in all zones which allow single-family dwelling units in compliance with KRS 100.348 to incorporate certain architectural compatibility standards for qualified manufactured homes, to set forth a maximum age for the placement of manufactured homes in approved zones in the county, and to otherwise amend relevant portions to comply with the House Bill 160, 2025, and KRS 100.348. Whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court is tasked with providing for the general safety and welfare of the citizens of Henderson County, and whereas the General Assembly presented House Bill 160 in 2025 to prohibit the county's zoning ordinance from restricting the placement of qualified manufactured homes as defined therein in any zones where single-family residences are permitted, which was signed into law on April 1st, 2025 and effective July 1st, 2026. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court acknowledges that the zoning ordinance in Appendix A of the Henderson County Code of Ordinances must be amended to comply with the mandates of House Bill 160. Whereas Henderson Fiscal Court deems it in the best interest of Henderson County to make certain amendments to the Henderson County zoning ordinance to ensure compliance with the mandates of KRS 100.348, to ensure the zoning ordinance of Henderson County remains enforceable and continues to protect property values within the confines of said statute. Whereas the Henderson City County Planning Commission conducted a public hearing thereon on April 7th, 2026, and HCCPC provided its findings of facts and recommendation to the Henderson Fiscal Court by letter dated April 16th, 2026. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court voted at its regular meeting on April 28th, 2026 to accept the recommendation of HCCPC and to incorporate said recommendations into its Code of Ordinance pursuant to the language provided therein. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court accepts the recommendation of HCCPC and deems it in the best interest of the residents of Henderson County to amend the Henderson County zoning ordinance with regard to manufactured homes. Now, therefore, be it ordained and enacted by the Fiscal Court of the County of Henderson of the Commonwealth of Kentucky as follows. 1. Appendix A, zoning of the Henderson County zoning ordinance is hereby amended by making the following amendments with deletions in bold strike through and insertions in bold underline. A. Article 2, definitions 2.01. I, retain all definitions as currently stated, but make the following amend. Manufactured home. A single-family residential dwelling constructed after June 15, 1976, in accordance with National Manufactured Home Construction and Safety Standard Act of 1974, 42 U.S.C. Section 5401, as amended, and designed to be used as a single-family residential dwelling with or without permanent foundation when connected to required utilities, and which includes the plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical systems contained therein. Effective July 1st, 2026, a manufactured home shall have been manufactured on a date not to exceed 20 years prior to the date of installation. A manufactured home shall be installed with a permanent foundation system so long as the foundation requirement does not conflict with the structural engineering of the home or with KRS 227.570. For purposes of this definition, permanent foundation shall have the same meaning as described in manufactured home qualified herein. Add manufactured home qualified. A manufactured home that meets all the following criteria. 1, is manufactured on a date not to exceed 5 years prior to the date of installation and has parts that operate only during transport removed. 2, is affixed to a permanent foundation and is connected to appropriate facilities and is installed in compliance with KRS 227.570. Permanent foundation for the purposes of this section shall mean a system of supports that is A, capable of transferring without failure into soil or bedrock the maximum design load imposed by or upon the structure and complies with KRS 227.570. B, constructed with materials that are compatible with surrounding residential structures so long as the materials do not compromise the structural engineering of the home in conflict with KRS 227.570. And C, placed at a depth below grade adequate to prevent frost damage in accordance with the manufacturer's installation requirements and KRS 227.570. 3, has a width of at least 20 feet at its smallest width measurement, or is 2 stories in height and oriented on a lot or parcel so that its main entrance door faces the street. And 4, has a minimum total living area of 900 square feet. B, Article 4, General Provisions, subsection 4.08, Mobile Manufactured Homes. I, shall be renamed the Single Family Residential Standards and shall be amended to read in its entirety as follows. A, purpose and authority. This section is adopted pursuant to KRS 100.3484 and the county's general zoning authority for the limited purpose of establishing standards applicable to all single-family residential dwellings, including site-built manufactured homes and qualified manufactured homes in residential zonings, districts where single-family dwellings are permitted. These standards are intended solely to ensure compatibility in terms of assessed value between new single-family residential dwellings and existing single-family residential structures located within a 1/8 mile radius of the proposed location as permitted under KRS 100.348. B, applicability. The standards set forth in this section shall apply uniformly to all new single-family residential dwellings, including site-built dwellings, qualified manufactured homes, and manufactured homes. 2, these standards shall be equivalent to and no more stringent than those applied to any other single-family residential structure within the same zoning district. C, compatibility standards, all zones. All new single-family residential dwellings shall utilize permanent foundation treatment that are contextually equivalent, including block, brick, concrete, and natural stone to foundation treatments commonly found on existing single-family residential structures within a 1/8 mile radius of the proposed location as permitted under KRS 100.348. The requirement of a permanent foundation may be modified or waived upon submission of a written recommendation by the floodplain director setting forth alternative requirements. D, compatibility standards R1, R3, PUD, and P1. The following compatibility standards are designed to ensure that all homes placed in residential zones are compatible in terms of assessed value with existing housing located within a 1/8 mile or less radius from the proposed location of any new home. All new homes in R1, RD, PUD, and P1 zones must comply with the following compatibility standards. 1, all new homes must be oriented to face the street. In the case of a corner lot, any new home shall face the street of which the majority of the homes on the same block face are oriented. 2, all new homes must meet at least 3 of the following criteria as shipped from the manufacturer or as included at the time of original construction. A, must incorporate a minimum of 4/12 roof pitch, contain a covered front porch containing at least 24 square feet under roof, include a building foundation with 5 or more corners, not including porches, incorporate an attached garage, has an upper story or half story with conditional living space, and F, incorporate the same or higher quality exterior materials compared to existing residential structures. 1, prohibited standards. No zoning regulation, ordinance, condition, or requirement shall be imposed under this section that 1, is not expressly authorized by KRS 100.3484, 2, is based on subjective aesthetic judgment or architectural preference, 3, is applied in a discretionary or non-objective manner, or 4, results in more stringent requirements for qualified manufactured homes than for other single-family residential dwellings. F, private restriction. Nothing in this section shall be construed to affect, modify, or abolish restrictions contained in records, deeds, covenants, or developer subdivisions restrictions consistent with KRS 100.3486. C, Article 11, R1, Single Family Residential District, subsection 11.02, permitted uses, amend the section to read as follows. A, single family detached dwelling. B, accessory buildings or uses customarily incidental to any of the permitted uses when located on the same lot and not involving any business, profession, trade, or occupation. C, residential care facilities. D, home occupation as defined in Article 2, home occupations for professional offices and personal services include the following list of specific uses: accountant, architect, artist, attorney, bookkeeper, broker, chiropodist. Not sure what that is.
Chiropodist.
Okay. Chiropractor, contractor, office only, consultant, counselor, dentist, draftsman, engineer, interior decorator, manufacturer's agent, musician, optometrist, osteopath, photographer, physician, seamstress or tailor, teacher, any other substantially similar activity. E, qualified manufactured home. D, Article 11, R2, two-family residential district, subsection 12.03, conditional uses, amend the section to read as follows. A, any use classified as a conditional use to the R1 single-family district. B, manufactured home. E, Article 14, yeah. PUD, planned unit development district, subsection 1402, permitted uses. Retain all existing language in its entirety, but add the following subsections. L, qualified manufactured home. Article
15.
Article 15, RMH, Mobile Manufactured Home District, subsection 1502, permitted uses, retaining all existing language in its entirety, but add the following subsections. H, qualified manufactured homes. G, Article 16, P1, Professional Service District, subsection 1602, permitted uses, retaining all existing language in its entirety, but add the following subsections. U, qualified manufactured homes. H, Article 22, AG, Agricultural District, subsection 2202, permitted uses, retaining all existing language in its entirety, but add the following subsections. R, qualified manufactured homes. I, Article 23, RR, rural residential, subsection 23.02, permitted uses, retain all existing language in its entirety, but add the following subsection. D, qualified manufactured homes. 2, all or part of ordinances in conflict with the above herein, or repealed to the extent of such conflict. 3, the provision of this ordinance are severable, and if any provisions or part thereof shall be held invalid or unconstitutional or inapplicable to any person or circumstance, such invalidity, unconstitutionality, or inapplicability shall not affect or impair the remaining provisions of this ordinance. The ordinance shall become effective upon its passage and advertising according to law. On first reading of the foregoing ordinance.
And Judge, I'll note that very understandably, Ms. Comer skipped the strike-through sections where there were large portions of the existing ordinance deleted, the ones that had to do specifically to mobile homes on private lots, which is exactly what the statute was saying had to be repealed. But I just wanted to make that clear. And Angela, I'm not sure what you did to anger the fiscal court and make you read that all the way through and not by summary. But I will say that anybody that is interested in this issue should actually see the written version of it, because you can see the additions are in bold, underline, the things taken out are in strike through, and then there are a lot of what was written, like the chiropodist part and everything,
Yes.
was original and had apparently been in the zoning ordinance for quite a while.
Can you tell us what that is? What a chiropodist is?
Something to do with feet.
Feet and ankles.
If you ever wonder why sometimes we just read the summaries at the top, there you go. So we've read the resolution. Thank you.
Ordinance.
You're welcome.
Ordinance, Judge.
Ordinance, yeah.
Clerk
Ordinance.
Comer. Any questions about that? We'll call the roll.
All right. Well, let's make a motion.
So move.
Second.
Call the roll.
Keith, did you second?
I think Tim and I did at the same time.
Okay. Magistrate Starks?
Aye.
Magistrate Barry?
Aye.
Magistrate Southard?
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins?
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye for the record. Thanks for wading through that with us. And next, we'll bring up Representative of the City and Henderson Municipal Gas to fill us in more on the gas line project from Geneva to Smith Bills. That we have mentioned earlier and is underway already, I understand. And please introduce yourself to the court.
Good morning, I'm Tim Clayton. I'm the Gas System Director for Henderson Municipal Gas. So we are starting Phase 1 of our Geneva and Smith Mills expansion. I think it started today. If you drive out through there, contractors here in town, and they're starting there at Amia Drive, just past the airport. The first phase is about 3 miles, 3.1 miles, and it stops just short of the Pond Creek crossing on Highway 136 West. So we hope to have that Phase 1 of the project done within three or 4 months. as the plan on the contractor. That phase is fully funded by Henderson Municipal Gas. It was around, I think, $280,000 approximately. So kind of what we asked of the fiscal court was just a partnership on phase 2 that would allow us to complete this project kind of in this calendar year and get gas to Smith Mills, by the end of this year, to where people can start hooking up to it. So I think we already have a contract in place with the contractor to extend the labor for the last 2 miles at the same rate that it was bid at, which was a very good price that we got on installing the pipe. So I think the MOU asked for up to $200,000 in reimbursement. The current estimate is $190,000, but there's a little bit of fluctuation in pricing of material right now, pipe, due to the oil prices going up and down. So we had a little bit of contingency in there, but maximum of $200,000 is what we're asking for reimbursement on that project, which is the last 2 miles of the 5-mile project. We think it'll be a great kind of cost savings for the residents that take advantage of it and hook up to it. They could save up to probably 40 or 50% of their heating cost when switching from propane to natural gas. And there's also just the convenience of always having it there and hooked up with a meter. You don't have to worry about running out, or if they can come fill it up during a snowstorm or ice storm. It's typically very reliable and just always there, and you can use it for generators, fireplaces for backup heat. Even if you have electric heat and you want just to have a backup, you can hook up natural gas for a furnace, for a fireplace, for generators, pool heaters, for water heating. So there's a lot of different uses for it, but mainly I think it'll be a good cost savings for people to hook up, and that would be kind of why you would be interested in providing the funding. It's just kind of cost savings to the residents in the area.
Yeah, there are many, many reasons why this is good for citizens. And to be clear, you described it as a partnership. Our role in this is to help pay for it. All the responsibility and liability on construction are with your contractor, and we're just helping pay.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
What's the cost of the hookup?
Mm-hmm. Anybody within 300 feet of the main line will be hooked up at no cost. And that includes the service line. We install the service line and the regulator and meter at the house. There could be some potential costs on the customer side for plumbing. We do have a code, NFPA 54 fuel gas code, that has to be followed, and we have some ordinances that we don't allow copper and yellow CSST piping and some things like that. So customers may have to have a small investment up front to convert from propane to natural gas, or if they're all electric, obviously they have to buy a whole new furnace, which could be expensive. But there'll be immediate savings, and if you already have propane, you convert to natural gas, you should be able to get your money back within a year or two of the plumbing costs to convert from propane to natural gas. But that's going to be case by case, depending on how your house is set up. But we can come out and talk to people about it. And also the phase 1 and 2, the 5-mile main line is on 136 west, but we plan to install lateral mains, in Geneva and also in Smith Mills to build out, all the side streets in Smith Mills. And that's something that HMG will do with our own in-house crews over time as people call and ask to be hooked up. So if you're in the Smith Mills kind of town border area, you'll likely get it at no cost. And then we'll take other requests. We've already got a lot of calls of people, in different places on different roads. And if it's just one service and it's 5,000 feet just to get down this road, we'll have to try to get some groups of customers together and look at how many people are there. But certainly anybody along 136 on the main line or within Geneva limits or Smith Mills limits will likely get it at no cost. Hookup.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We have a
Judge.
resolution, I'm sorry.
Judge, I'll say we do have an MOU that we've been going back and forth with Ms. Kelsey at the city about, made a couple of little tweaks to it. So I would say that approving that draft that I sent to her upon her approval would be the way to go.
Did you hear that amendment to the motion?
We do have a resolution that would approve that most recent draft of that.
Okay. Yeah, you have the resolution in front of you. And since we just read through an entire motion, I'd be more than happy to just have Ms. Comer read the summary. It does reflect us putting $200,000 aside in the new fiscal year, up to $200,000 to pay for it, and pending Mr. Gold's finalizing of the MOU with Don Kelsey at the city. But, is it okay if we read the summary?
Yes, please.
Thank you. All right, resolution approving memorandum of understanding between the City of Henderson through Henderson Municipal Gas and the Henderson County Fiscal Court, and authorizing the county judge executive to execute all necessary documents.
Need a motion pending the final work of the attorneys.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions?
I have, what we talked about, have you looked in the build out at K-Roll anymore?
Yeah, I think something I was going to bring up is another interesting project would be a gas line to Cairo. We do already have gas at Cairo School that comes from Corden area on some county roads, and it's just a 2-inch line, and it could support some additional load, but really the ultimate goal would be kind of from the 425 bypass in Henderson, where we have a high pressure line, expanding from there on 41A all the way to Cairo, which would be about 7 or 8 miles.
So
The
$500,000
4-inch line. So I mean, that's another thing I would love to again partner with the county on that, and there's tons of potential customers on that 7 miles, and getting all the way into Cairo, into the town, you could feed all that, but there's some residential developments along the way and some other side streets you could go off of, so there's definitely an interest in that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the resolution. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Looking forward to getting it done. I appreciate it. Okay, I'll call up County Engineer Nick Stallings. And while he's coming up there, we do need to set second reading on the 2 ordinances we passed. Shooting for May 12th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve targeting it for May 12th?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nick, take it away.
All right, first things, we have our county road aid co-op program that we always do every year. It's where the rural road system out of Frankfurt, allocates so much money to every county based on the size of the county and population and things. But this year we're getting just shy of $1.3 million. So that requires just a signature from the judge. So it'll be y'all voting in to make sure that you all approve to get that money. Basically, it's used for what we use it for, which is road repair, road building, mowing, maintenance, that kind of thing. So
You have that agreement in your packet. I hope you had a chance to look it over. And again, for this resolution, I'll entertain the okay to read the summary.
Please.
Okay. Resolution adopting and approving the execution of a county road aid co-op program contract between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026, as provided in the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system.
The agreement has been reviewed and approved as to form and legality.
Get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
all right, next step, I should have some road bid openings for
You
consultants?
got it.
I think so. I don't remember what the number was, but yeah.
I mean, just one or two.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where CRS
Looks like
kicks
we're
in.
gonna be a while, good.
All right, this stands with this federal government for you. This is what they require. This is for that grant, the SS4A grant that we received back in September 2024. Still following the breadcrumbs that they give me to do what I need to do to get the money allocated. So we still have yet to spend a dollar, and this is standing between us and the start of the design process. They would not let me do the design, again, because they want consultants, so kind of knocked me out of getting the stuff done early. So this is a process we're going through, getting the consultants together. They just submitted what they can do, previous information on what their projects were before this, and who they're gonna have work on the project, and cost estimates. So this is the first time we ever had to do a proposal for anything. So my question to you, Mr. Steve, is I don't gotta read these, right? Do I just say who submitted it? Because there's gonna obviously be a point of review for this.
I think, yeah, you're going to need time to review those, and you should take time to review those. But I think as we're opening them, saying who it's from and what the bottom dollar amount is important.
All right, first one we got is GPI. They came in for the road sign inventory and a LiDAR service. While I'm looking for the money here, LiDAR service is they're going to get the geometrics of the roads, for the roads that we have on our list that have crash potential or crash ratings. And that's gonna be able to fix super elevations, be able to fix, vertical alignments and horizontal alignments. The second part of this proposal is signs. They're going to redo every sign in the whole entire county, bring them all up to standards, and hopefully we can make it a day without somebody stealing or shooting them. So that's what we're hoping for here. And it does not have a dollar amount, but I will bring all that back up, because this is crazy, folks. All right, but this one's under GPI. They're Greenman Pearson Incorporated. They're out of Paintsville, Kentucky, and they submitted a proposal for the road sign inventory and LiDAR. So the next portion of this is road widening. We've got a lot of roads we're wanting to widen, and so that means extended out culverts and cutting trees. We got a lot of trees that are way too close to the road. That's another point of my grant that we received. So this is a road widening service. Again, it's from GPI. They're trying to do both portions of this grant. So yeah, there's that. All right.
How are they doing a bid and not giving us an amount?
They don't. This is for the professional services.
We still should have an amount.
And that's what I'm gonna go through and find out what is in there. And again, it's gotta be in here. So I mean, I could spend the time to look through it and find it. But I'm gonna come back up with this at the next court as far as what we found, what's in there for the cost. They're proposing with their information they have as a design firm, what they can do, what their experiences are, and who they have work on the project.
Well, Nick, the purpose of opening them publicly and then reading them is to ensure that nobody thinks that you might be in collusion with one of the vendors or something and work with them to change numbers or something. So it is kind of important to find that dollar amount. And I know it may take a minute, and that's okay, but for transparency, it's important to do that. Surely there's a dollar amount in there. They did all those bound folders, you'd think.
In Nick's defense, sometimes they're with consultants and potential hourly increment of expenses, they don't necessarily put a bottom line. I wish they would.
It's usually a sign it's pretty high if they're trying to hide it that hard.
Yeah. hence the challenge with consultants. But this is a federal requirement.
All right, I got their preliminary schedule. They're scheduling 8 months. They're scheduling 8 months for the LiDAR and the field collection for the sign, for the sign services. Yeah, well, this may be kicked out. That was one of our requirements, were to give us a dollar number for these, so. I will go back and see if I can find the numbers on these, but as of right now, GPI just has a schedule, which is 8 months for this design, but there is no dollar amount. There's 4 engineers working on the project, giving all their information, but there's no dollar amounts. This one may just be kicked out for that current reason, because that's part of the bid proposal we put in was their projected dollar amount, because obviously for design services, we've got to have something that we can bid against, so.
Was there a cover letter or anything that might have had a dollar amount?
Yes, there is a cover letter, but it says, what they're going to. They're saying they're proposing to go for Henderson County for the comprehensive standard-based roadway inventory for signs and LiDAR. That's all they have. There's $0 $0 on it. Their proposed schedule for, I mean, you know, that's just a piece of the pie, but their proposed schedule is about 6 months for the road signs and the LiDAR service.
So, do we have a deadline on when we have to use this money?
By the end of 2029, or May of 2029.
So long as 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, what's set up, the construction shouldn't take more than 9 months. It's just all the red tape and hoops that we gotta fall through. You know, I received this grant right before the presidency changed. Well, once that changed, everything took a hold. Then all the requirements had to change, so all that had to be updated. And then there was the DEI stuff with Duffy versus California. It put everything on hold. They had to wait for that court case. And then so we just basically got approval to start spending money in January of this year. Once you all had the judge sign it, we signed the grant. And then now, this is the next step I've got to go through, is to go through consultants to do the design. All right, this one's from BFW, Bacon Farmer Workman, and they are going for the Henderson sign inventory. Man. A lot of people. Work history. Have you ever showed up to a party and didn't think you were invited? That's what I'm feeling like right now, because this is absolutely crazy. All right, there's we don't have anything on them either. Is anybody here from the engineering firms? Maybe they could give me a Cliff Notes version, because there is not any dollar amount on this either, or timeline. Nope, I do, that's my, yep. That's my, no ma'am, no ma'am, thank you. If you can find these numbers for me, that would be amazing. All right, well, looks like we may be coming back next week, next court for the bids, because there's not a single dollar amount in these either.
This makes me nervous.
We had the same experience with advertising for management of the jail project. The management, once you bid on that, wanted to negotiate price after we selected which one of them appeared to be able to manage it better, and knowing a price up front is part of the calculation, but this may be part of that kind of thought on their part. When they bid other projects, you negotiate price after the fact, but as is the case with the jail, we asked the jailer to go back and get a price, to actually get the numbers. That's why we are still waiting to approve a manager. I'm thinking this may be part of the issue.
And Dick, was this done as a request for bids or proposals, or as a request for qualifications?
No, this is a request for proposals. This is
Okay.
have it all together.
Okay, so
yeah, I
it
wanted
was
to-
specific that they
yes.
wanted dollar.
I want to do the design, but the Federal Highway said that it's got to be through consultants. So this is our step that we're doing. So opening this up is Camellia Armis, and out of Panorama City, California. So it shouldn't be too bad of a drive time. All right, so we have see if they got it. They got it figured out here. Road trip, we could go to California, look at all the projects. Everything's in California. All right, let's go to the next thing. That's a guy, that's a guy, that's a guy, that's a guy. All right, so they're putting 20 weeks to have all of the, they're having 20 weeks to do the centerline mouse for the LiDAR data collection. They're going to give themselves up to 5 months for the quality control and the signs. That's their schedule. Dollar amounts, the only thing they have is their fee proposal is $18 per sign. So that's the only, so that's not counting any dollars for centerline mouse. Typically, they would have a dollar figure for centerline mouse it would take for the LiDAR, data collection and giving me back the data. But that's not in here, and nor was it in the other two.
I have never seen an RFP response like this.
So
It's crazy.
yeah, there were strict guidelines had on there. It was their previous experience, what they've done that would make them a contender for this job.
Regardless of that, it's just an RFP.
It was for I had their dollar amount that they would plan for design, and then their timeline. All right, this is from Palmer Engineering. Well, this is not dollars or timeline set on this one either.
Well, they obviously can't follow directions, so it makes me a little nervous about finding out where to put a stop sign.
All right, this is CDI, and they're going for both also. I had a lot of firms send me emails asking where this gets sent to, which is also on the proposal. But there's a lot. I mean, I had probably 8 or 10, and they're not in here. So, but I just said, no, they got to be sent here to the courthouse. All that's on the proposal that we sent out. So, I don't know. All right. So this is for the signs and LiDAR. Don't get your hopes up. Probably ain't gonna have anything. Man, that's just sad. I was ready to get this thing going. I was thinking I was gonna have some things in line. This just puts us 2 weeks behind. Hey, we got a contract agreement. It's the first one. No. It says their proposal shall remain valid and binding for 90 days. Nice, Will.
And Nick, you're sure the request did ask for a dollar amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It did that. It asked for a timeline.
We never requested, this was sort of more of a request for qualifications and a list of the services they would provide and not a dollar figure amount in term. From this, the companies would be contacted and.
No way, bud. This would have to be, well, then I have to send this back out of run because I've got to have a dollar amount for this.
Which is going to list their proposals and everything else, and we will have to contact them with a firm schedule as far as what their actual dollar amounts would be. But it's important to get on the record, a list of the companies that have submitted for today, because they're the ones that we would contact for this, because they did follow the instructions.
So these are the only ones that will be allowed to bid the projects?
Correct.
Gotcha.
All
Okay,
right,
that makes
this
a little
is-
more sense now.
Yes.
This is for the road widening services. All right, well, that's different than what I was expecting. I was expecting us to have timelines and dollar numbers. All right, so this is CDI, who's also going for road widening services. So CDI's got road widening and signs and LiDAR. Then we got Palmer's for both. We got NDS for both. And then we have Bacon Farmer and Workman for both. And then we got GPI for both. So I'll be back up here in probably in 2 weeks to get y'all a dollar figure. All right, next thing we have on the list is our Basket Recreational Center. This has just been in construction. You all know what it previously looks like. That was the existing existing building. It was, closed for, obviously for structure problems, no gutters, that kind of thing. This is the new construction it's at now. It's got all the new supporting posts. It's got all the trusses in place, all the new roof systems. It's got the metal on the roof itself. Then we've got, there's the new tie-ins for all the posts. We also had the new septic tank has been installed, and it's been approved for operation. So this is what we've done currently is the supporting posts, trusses, metal, and ceilings, and then the gutters, paint, doors, and lighting. So that's currently what's being done. Man, I'm a little flustered. I usually like to have my stuff figured out before I come up here, and I was, I guess I was off on that. All right, so this is another thing that that I applied for, so it's kind of an announcement, is there's a FLAT grant. It's a federal grant to update transportation access to federal lands. I had 2 bridges out in Henderson County on Green River Road number 1 and number 2. They're both wooden bridges. They're some of my lowest rated bridges. They're always up to drop down because that's the way wooden bridges are. They don't have a very good safety record. You can't really tell when a wood bridge inside the pilings is rotting or whatever. So they have a whole lot more factor of safety on the road ratings. So apply for this grant, and then we received it. So we got the grant. It was for $1.7 million, and there's no match. So
Awesome.
it's 100%
Wonderful.
federal. So we're getting 2 bridges on this one. I don't know if you all been out around District 2 area, but Green River Road 1, Green River Road number 1, Green River Road number 2, you start seeing these signs. They have recently, over the last couple of years, bought up a lot of land out there for federal land. And this is to remain access for them. So I saw an opportunity to get some bridge replaced. So I went for this grant and we received it. So the first bridge is 101, and it's on Green River Road number 2. It's a 95-foot long structure. This is where the bridge is at. It's right after the one you pass Charner Road before you get over to 1078. This is the location. All that is federal land. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife came by and bought everything out there. So this is obviously access to get from, the west side of the county to the east side of the county without going through 1078. So this bridge was approved, and then this is what it looks like currently. Driving out there, it's wood. You can't really tell it's a wooden bridge unless you stop looking underneath of it. Gravel surface. So drainage is, typically a problem. This is what the last inspection looked like, and that was in 2024, December 2024. This is what it looks like underneath. You've got a timber deck. You got timbers holding back as your abutment walls. A lot of that again has deterioration factors. It's got the wood girders and wood paling. So that's what we're looking to replace. The other one, Green Road number 1, it's County Bridge number 102. This is the location it's in. It's right before you get to Evansville Marine Service. And it's right off of Tim and Bethel when it turns into to Green River Road number 1. This bridge also access to federal land. Federal land, they've started buying federal land over towards the west of this project. So that's again access that they can maintain to get to the federal land. It's a 55-foot structure. This is what it is currently. Again, another timber bridge, same construction, just a smaller bridge. Left is what the structure railing looks like. Right is what the understructure looks like, the substructure. That's from the inspection December 2024. On both sides, here, this is what this looks like for their timber piling, how they braced it, and then this is their abutment walls. So with this, they're sitting out agreements which will be, again, signed by the court. They have not got those together yet. Again, it's a federal grant, so there's time, it takes time for all this. But we did receive the award. Again, I said it's a non-match, so we will do in-kind services typically because it helps in construction cost, which, but all this is no match. So there's no money up front. There's no dedicated to in-kind services. And, it's $1.7 million, so it's a good deal.
Fantastic. I love no match too.
Great work, Nick, thanks.
Yep.
And is it going to require any consultants?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, everything does. So I don't know. That's one thing about the federal grants is they always require design services, and can't do it myself, so they won't let me. All right. Well,
Thanks, Nick.
I'm gonna take all this
Thank you very
back.
much, Nick. Good job on that grant. Excellent.
Yeah, I'll bring this
It's
back
a lot
up.
of money.
That's $6 million that he's got us in the last 2 years.
No, I actually had added another 869,000 to that too. So,
That's $7 million he got us.
Pretty amazing. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, next, Lori Miller from Humane Society. Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for having me this morning. I thought I was going to end with this, but I think I'm going to start with it because I'm really excited. So we actually, as you know, since I've started, we've been doing a little bit of rebranding over there. Just public perception and just, what we bring to the community. But we just got a new logo for the shelter. Here it is, and I would like to actually give this to you for recently being a special guest at our event at the beginning of the month.
You're welcome. All right.
At the beginning of the month, we had an adoption awareness event. It was called All Paws on the Beat. It was a day of, we had music going, we had a special guest, including Judge Schneider, and just helping raise awareness for our cause. And just wanted to thank you for coming out to that and being part of this new future for the Humane Society and animal control. So anyway, I'll get to the numbers now, but thank you for letting me go on about that. So currently, so the report I sent you was for the previous month. And our current numbers, though, we have 60 dogs at the facility right now, which is actually kind of low. 16 cats. 11 cats in foster and 21 dogs in foster. Animal controls calls for service between March and April were 30, with abandoned animals and bites being at the top of the list, per usual, unfortunately. And then some updated numbers, like I said, the executive director report I sent you was for the previous month. Since we last met, we've had 35 adoptions, 15 dogs reclaimed by owners, which is wonderful, 7 dogs transferred to other rescues or facilities, 2 euthanized, 1 due to medical and other behavioral. No animals died in our care, luckily. We had 14 community cats that we transported to Butler County, hopefully putting a dent in that problem that we are seeing in the community. And then as far as shelter animals, we had 14 dogs fixed and 4 cats fixed. And really the last thing on my list was a thing that I was too excited about. I just opened with our new logo. And also just our success from that event and that awareness event. We've had seen an uptick in volunteer applications, which is great because they are our lifeline. We really desperately need volunteers. And I will take you up. I know you mentioned being a transport volunteer. If you're still interested, we are working with another local vet where we'll be having regular transport days getting our shelter pets spayed and neutered. So, yeah, that's about it. Any
If
questions?
you remember the dog that I hosted when I was part of the
Yes, it
live
was
stream.
Rex. Yeah, he's still there.
Still there.
Yeah, he's still there. So he's one of our longtime residents, so.
Great dog.
He is a great dog. We have a lot of really great dogs. Like I always say, it's an oversaturated market, just not enough adopters. So just spread the word.
It was fun to meet. While you're here,
Yes.
any other questions about the report? Good job on the finances, looks good. To the City County Cooperative Group, you brought your proposed budget a couple weeks back, and that included money for a new truck. And I
Yes.
think at the time, we had briefly discussed a way that we could take care of that this fiscal year, so it wouldn't be included in the new fiscal year. So we've been working with JJ Moore, our head lead animal control officer, to identify a vehicle and also work with the city to arrange picking up the cost of the dog box that would go with it. And it's a larger truck, so the dog box is a little larger than normal, not about a $13,000 or $14,000 installation and purchase. So the city has indicated they are willing to do that.
Okay.
I would ask the court, JJ has picked out a truck locally that is $39,000 total, and we have obviously the money to get that bought and work with the city to purchase the dog box. We will let you handle the wrap or the signage on the side. I'd propose that as something we could do now, and we wouldn't have to worry about budgeting for it in the new year. I'm open to your thoughts.
I think she's done a great job turning things around. Give her the tools she needs to work.
Yes, they got to have the truck. How many miles are on the old truck, you know?
Oh golly, I don't know off the top of my head, but
Gotcha.
it's hanging on by a limb. So luckily he did find something yesterday
Yeah.
within budget. So,
You got to have the tools to do the job.
I mean, it's, you call them to come, they got to be able to get there.
Yeah. And I must say, one of the measures of the success of animal control is the number of complaint calls I get, and I can't remember the last one I've got. So sometimes
I
no
love to
news is
hear
good
that.
news.
Yes.
And so I know they're working hard, and they need this truck. So if you are amenable to making a motion to go ahead and purchase this truck for.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. We will work with you on getting ownership done, but and working with the city on the dog box.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you all.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Dog parks,
Yeah.
are you a fan?
As long as everyone is got their city county tags and their rabies vaccine, I'm not opposed to it. Your thoughts?
Well, I was eating supper the other night down there at the dog park. Seen a lot of dogs go in, just get off the leash, and they all run around. I'm like, man, this just looks like a disaster waiting to happen to me.
Sure. There's certainly liabilities involved with that, but we just trust that pet owners use their best judgment, like I said, having their rabies and city and county tags. It's great for pet owners who live in apartments because
Right.
a tired dog is a happy dog that's less likely to, destroy their place.
Right.
So I support dog parks.
Okay.
Yeah, if managed well and done the right way.
I was like, made me nervous every time they unhooked one. I was like,
Yeah.
We don't have one in the county, obviously, but sometimes I think the county is like one giant dog park. And so
Yeah.
people still have to
Right.
to follow the rules if they can and protect one another that way. So,
Right. Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
All right. County Clerk Renee Abner's next.
Jay, you've almost made it. You've almost made it through. We're at the very end. Congratulations. Good morning. How is everyone? Good. We are doing well in the office. We are very much into our election mode. We are having our first election school on this Thursday. So, and currently we are set for volunteers, and we actually have 5 extra people on call. So we're set, doing very well. Today I have the totals for March 2026. I have excess fees for the month in the amount of $185,926.40. That's $14,000 more than the same month in 2025. And I have the total remitted to the county for March as $270,502.89, and that's $20,000 more than the total for last year, the same month. I also have quarterly totals. Excess fees, $340,639.42. That's $15,000 more than the same quarter last year. And the total paid to the county is $505,155.45, and that is $6,000 more than the same total in the same quarter last year. So we're doing okay.
Move to accept.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions of Bernice?
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Well, I got you. We are using the voting center model again this year.
We absolutely are. We do, I hate to prolong the meeting any longer, but can I have a second just
Sure.
to say, okay? In-house absentee voting, it starts May the 6th and it runs through May 13th. That's here in the office during our office hours, 8 to 4:30, Monday through Thursday, and Friday, 8 to 6. That's an excuse required situation, so age, disability, out of the county on election day, or anytime we're doing early voting. So, and then early voting starts May 14th and it runs through May the 16th, which is the Thursday through Saturday before the election day. And that is at the Chase Fulcher Archery Training Center, and those hours are 8 to 4 every day. So we are in high gear and ready to go, and hope everybody turns out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Gold, your report.
Judge, I've got several checks today. First is interest check, $72.19, a flow-through from the city, $458.33. Health insurance, $22,105.27. Dental, life, and vision, $795.50 and $11.10. Aflac, $403.06. The Deaconess at Work Clinic costs $378.99, and interest in the amount of $72.98, $31.41, and $197.46. That brings today's total to date to $24,526.29, and the fiscal year total to date to $251,423.26. And Jaya tells me she's never held $24,000 plus dollars, so I'm going to ask her to hold that for a second and give that to Judge Schneider. Good job. Thank you. And I always say it's just like being an adult. You get some money in one hand and have to turn around and hand it to the government.
Motion to approve the county attorney's report.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Treasurer Ryder?
The transfers are as presented. These are redistributing appropriations within the existing budget, adjusting these appropriations through this fiscal year. I also have two cash transfers from the general fund to the economic development fund, $59,000. This is a budgeted transfer. From the general fund to the grant fund, $150,000. This is to correct the electronic fund transfer error for the Harbor House HB1 grant.
I move to approve the transfers.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
So that transfer you're talking, that last one for the Harbor House?
Yes, sir.
They just put it in the wrong account where we're moving it back?
Yeah.
Yes, we're moving it to where it was budgeted. This is the second payment for that grant. It is a flow through to the Harbor House once their practice is in place.
Right, okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Your bank, but you have received your bank balances after paying claims today. Your day-to-day appropriations should be at approximately 83%. I do have additional claims from the general fund to ConnectWise, $607.50. This is for computer management software updates, and it is to come from the IT services appropriation line. To DeBraw Comple, $13,483.06. This is for a heat pump replacement for here in the courthouse, and is to come from renewals, repairs, courthouse appropriation line. To King, Deep, and Brannaman, $1,385. This is for code enforcement services and is to come from the Housing Appeals and Code Enforcement Board appropriation line. To Republic Services, $645.32. This is for monthly service for the Judicial Center and is to come from the Judicial Center contracted custodial appropriation line. To Wex Bank, $8,624.06. This is for the Sheriff's Department fuel cards and is to come from the Sheriff's fuel appropriation line. From the Road Fund to Home Oil and Gas Company, $54,543.04. This is for fuel and is to come from the fuel appropriation line.
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions about claims? All those in favor, did you have another claim?
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead. No.
No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. I do need to ask for approval for transfer from the general fund contingency to the Air Board. This is for $7,245. This is for the county's portion of the design services for the airport project that was presented earlier. We have received that invoice, and that is 1/3 of the design services.
I moved.
This is Frank Williams' bill on the design work.
Right. I moved that we move the money or pay whatever we need to do.
And approval for the check also. I need a contingency approval and approval for the check, those two.
Second.
Yeah, I move all the above.
Second.
So we have let's motion to transfer the money from contingency to airport maintenance.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to approve the claim to pay this to, I think it's Frank Williams Consulting.
It actually goes to the Air Board.
Airport.
They invoice the county.
Gotcha, it's a reimbursement.
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Before we get to go to the county, I'd like to give a huge salute to Eric Higgs. If you wouldn't mind coming up. This past week, Eric hosted his peers from around the state, solid waste coordinators from 40 counties or so, including state staff who were there to offer training, and they spent 2 days in our community, visited downtown, had a great time, and Eric did a great job arranging that. They utilized the training building out at the road department and also toured our facilities, and apparently got A+ reviews from all involved. And congratulations, Eric. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, they gave us an A++ rating, the state did. They said that we are definitely using our grant funding appropriately, and they would like to see us kind of, I know that Tri-County just got dissolved, but they still would like to see us help out the smaller counties that don't have what we have. And so what I've done, Muhlenberg County actually brings all their recycling here. Doesn't cost us a thing. Hopkins County is starting to bring their recycling here. Yeah, it just, they was really impressed.
Now, if they bring their recycling to us, you still have the ability to sell it.
Yes.
And we keep the money.
Yes.
I like that arrangement.
Yes.
And it helps them by clearing out their recycling. Yeah. Great job, and I'm glad you hosted that group.
Yes.
Thanks, Eric.
Since I'm already up here, I want to thank Magistrate Southard for coming out and feeding the crew at the cordon cleanup this past weekend.
I appreciate them being there.
I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the citizens during both of the cleanups, and Roberts will be next on May 8th and 9th.
May 8th.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
Good job.
Eric, how many dumpsters did y'all take away?
We hauled off over 9 tons of furniture and stuff from Cardin.
9 tons.
Yeah.
So that's 9 tons of stuff we don't have to pick up
Pick
out
up
of
off
ditches.
the side of the road.
Right.
So-
Potentially, yeah.
Yes.
Not everybody's like
Right,
that.
not everyone's like.
Thank you, Eric. Second of all, the county's 2025-2026 audit is now available. We will be posting that online shortly. Anybody who'd like a copy can get it from us within the next couple days. We'll have paper copies available. Mentioned, Finance Committee yesterday, we talked, we only had one finding in the audit, so congratulations to Brenda and all the gang. A couple of findings within that one, couple of components within that one is we need to clean up a couple purchase order technicalities. And also, I think we had a sheriff's issue with fuel purchases. That's been corrected. And a timing issue on paying the city a check we owed them worked out. I mean, we didn't surprise the city, but the auditor said we should have paid it a little quicker than we did, so we did and cleared that up. So great job to all. It's a big operation. It's hard to go through the kind of audit that the state puts you through without some sort of finding or two. But those small technicalities are easily fixable, and overall it's a clean audit, so that's awesome. With that, I will, if anybody would like to come up and speak for good of the county, please. And please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Lisa Thompson-Meyer, and I live out in Niagara. And what I want to talk about is the solar installation team that's working currently on Cherry Hill and Mill Cates Road. I know that Mr. Tompkins went out and he didn't see any issues, but I've had, initially, within a 6-hour period, I had 25 people contact me regarding issues with the team out there and what they're doing. And basically, it boils down to their speeding. There is a posted speed limit sign of 35 miles per hour, and they're saying that, of course, you can't tell for sure, but they think they're going anywhere between 55 and 75, okay? They're running people off the road. That was a common complaint. One lady said she had been run off the road like 6 times in a 2-week period, okay? They're driving over the speed limit. Some of the residents there, they have concerns for their children waiting for the bus or playing out in their yards. They've absolutely stopped that. They're taking their children to school now, and they're very unhappy. So I'm going to contact the sheriff, he left, and the state police to see about patrolling and writing tickets out there. And my request to the county is to send a letter to the solar installation company and basically adding the comments that I've received, but I want the fiscal court to do this and tell them that it's not going to be tolerated. And, they're also working until past midnight every day. And people out there, they're in the perception they're supposed to stop before dark. I don't know, I don't see any contracts or anything, but this is an accident waiting to happen. I mean, this is pretty severe.
Thank you.
No comments?
Duly noted.
Okay. And I have some questions on the manufacturing housing ordinance. The first question is, how are you going to police with the amount of mobile homes and so forth that are already in the county? Is there going to be, I know there's going to be a grandfather clause, but how is that going to work? Do they get a letter from someone? Do they show the date? And, there are mobile homes older than 10 years old out in the county. So how will that work?
It'll all be administered through our codes administrator, Randy Tassa, who's part of the construction projects, will be, issuing permits and examining them in other ways, and they'll have to follow the regulations of the ordinance.
And I'll note that this doesn't change any mobile home that's already in place. This has to do with new mobile homes
Right,
or ones
right.
being moved into the county.
But how will you know the difference, basically? If someone brings one in and they don't get a permit, or maybe somebody thinks that it's new because they hadn't driven out there or whatever, how is all
Well,
that
if
going to work?
they're installing something somewhere where there isn't anything, they're going to be hooking up utilities, things.
Right,
They're going to
right.
need other permits. So that should, Mr. Tasa isn't here, but I think when he originally had presented this language that he was suggesting that the fiscal court originated, he addressed a whole lot of those sort of things about how he knows about those things. I don't know all the details of that, but he was of the impression that he would be able to do that. But generally, so what this ordinance does is it makes there used to be a definition in our ordinances that was mobile homes. So the new law creates something called qualified mobile homes. And so there's a difference between a mobile home and a qualified mobile home. And for a qualified mobile home, they have to be treated as a regular traditional construction stick-built type house. The ones that are not considered those qualified mobile homes, those still have some of the same restrictions on them.
So I guess my question is, again, how will you, I know people bring in things and don't get building permits, okay? That goes on a lot. But how will you be able to designate which is which? You know, strictly run off the utilities or?
Well, generally, they have VIN numbers and manufacturer dates on them.
I don't think those are recorded in the, I mean, those they do, but they're not recorded so anywhere. So is that something that needs to be done? Because they do get titles, you
Yes.
know?
And those titles have manufacturer dates on them.
So is that something they need to add, like at the court, the county court clerk?
They'll need to show
clerk
proof of
keeps those.
manufacturer, yeah.
The
Right,
clerk's the one that
right.
keeps the records of those titles, yes.
Right.
The date, when they applied for the title, if there was a transfer, all that's captured in the CAVA system, through the transportation company.
So what if they did not go through, you know, the transfer deal with your office? Because once they're established there at a residence, I don't think most people, you know, transfer them that way. They get a deed to the property or whatever, and it'll say, you know, like a mobile home there.
Well, they're taxed through the PDA as well, so anytime they, you know, all that tax data would also be used as well to.
So the tax data also has their serial number and that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Most people told me that they don't. I don't have any idea.
But that's, would refer you to Mr. Tasa on a lot of the details of
I'll call
exactly
him and
how he
ask,
does
yeah.
all that.
Okay.
But that's,
And is there going to be an exemption? There used to be an exemption if you were, you know, if you had 7 acres or more. Will that still be in effect? I've had a lot of people call me about this. That's why I'm asking these
we'll get you a
questions.
copy of the entire ordinance so you can
Okay.
look through it all.
Okay. And then what about construction trailers? You know, for instance, the solar company, they have construction trailers going around. How does that work in the
This
whole scheme
particular
of things?
ordinance only has to do with mobile homes and qualified mobile homes.
Okay. So it will not impact the construction trailers at all?
I would have to defer to Mr. Tasa on that.
Okay.
But you're talking about construction trailers that are essentially mobile homes.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They take them from site to site. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'd have to defer to Mr. Tasa on that.
Okay. So as far as the situation with the solar installation teams, can we get a letter from the fiscal court sent out to tell them, to identify to them the issues that we're having and ask them to correct that? Or
We know the project managers, we can call them directly.
could you send a letter so that we have documentation?
Sure.
Okay. Is there any chance I could get a copy of that?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anybody else for good of the county? Nobody else like to go? Master Southern?
Jay, congratulations for a marathon meeting. They're usually not this long, but we had a lot to go over today. You know, Jefferson's a pretty big school, and they picked you. It says a lot. It says a lot. You should be very proud. I know you are proud. It's, have you decided where you're gonna go eat? Well, as long as this means you deserve 2 desserts. All's good in District 3. We got the well-needed rain. And I don't think we had a lot of storm damage. We had some, but not a lot. It could have been a lot worse last night, for sure. So, all's good in District 3.
Master Tompkins?
Well, congratulations again. I enjoyed getting to talk to you before court just a minute. You've got a great support system, and remember, that's going to be key to continued and future success. You know, clearly you understand the value of doing the right thing when nobody's watching. It makes you a leader. So keep those habits up. That will take you far. You know, nobody else has a day named after them today but you. So enjoy that. Be proud of that. Know that we're proud of you. I know your parents are proud of you. And I wish you the best going forward. That's all for me, Judge.
Master Putnam?
Thank you, Judge. Jay and I had a chance to talk prior to the court, you know, and I think she's got a little, she's a little nervous about making that transition to South. But she's got all the right tools. She's got great parents. So I have no doubt that that'll be no hill that you can't climb. You'll do well. You're already doing well. You're a special one. You know, like the other magistrate said, you know, proclamation. So now you get to serve like April 28th and your birthday. You got 2 days. 2 days. You got to celebrate. So you got to hold them to it. And we'll get another chance to talk at lunch. But congratulations. And all's good and forward, Judge.
Mr. Gold?
Thank you, Judge. I agree. You've got this transition to middle school taken care of. You're going to be great. Not only do you have your parents, you got that big, beautiful family that's a wonderful support group for you. And I know you didn't get here alone. They all helped you get there. And as you go through things in the future, continue to lean on them, because I know that's something that is going to be really good for you. And, you know, you're going to get into middle school, and people are going to have disagreements. And people are going to, you're going to, you know, we all see things on TV and social media where people are really angry with each other all the time. And the one thing that I would like you to remember, and frankly all of us need to remember sometimes, especially, you know, when we're watching TV where people are mad at each other or something like that, is you'll never insult somebody into agreeing with you. So disagreeing is perfectly fine. But it's when we disagree and we think just because somebody else disagrees with us that they're bad, that's when it starts to get bad. We all have to make sure that we're not doing something like that, okay? Because that's when we start to have contempt for other people and start to give ourselves permission to treat them not like our neighbor. And I know you've been raised to love your neighbor, to treat everybody like, or you want to be treated, right? So I know you're going to keep doing that. And I know as you go forward into middle school, you're going to be able to do that and carry that light that you've got within you everywhere. Because we've talked a little bit enough to know that I know that you are a bright, shining light, and you keep doing it because you're going to make everybody's day if you keep doing that, all right? In the county attorney's office, we've had a few challenges recently. We've had a personnel turnover in our child support attorney, but we were able to recruit a solid replacement there, and we're very happy about that. And then yesterday, told the judge about this, somebody came into court with a bug infestation, and that made court, it's taken care of. The court had to move to a different courtroom, and I want to thank the judge and our maintenance staff for getting that taken care of and getting an exterminator in pretty quickly to make sure that that didn't spread any further and didn't harm any of the folks that were there. An adult protective services referral was made in that situation, and we hope that they're able to get the individual the help they need as far as working with their cleanliness and their living arrangements. But that it was something that it was pretty chaotic through everything for a loop, but my staff rolled with it. We were able to get all the equipment up to a different courtroom that we needed, and we also had the confidence to know that that exposure down on the first floor was being taken care of appropriately. So just really proud of the way both my staff and the maintenance staff here in the county took care of that. I'm good.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Master Barry?
I'm moving printers.
Thank you, Judge. After all that's been said, Jay, I'll still congratulate you. Wonderful family. You're I'm sure, a great young lady. Parents, we're glad to have you here. Glad that she's here. We know she's going to do well. You're going to eat lunch with Magistrate Putman, I suppose. Be sure and make him pay. He's going to feed you well. You eat, because it's been a long court, and I'm sure you're not bored. Probably. And Steve, we're glad you got the bugs under control. That's good. That was good. I was going to thank Nick and Eric for a job well done. I think they both left. Magistrate Tompkins, I hate to tell you, but those bridges are in one. District 1.
I know.
I just had to remind you. And I'll take the 1.7 million. We'll get those bridges fixed, because we were kind of worried about that long one for the money. And so that's good. I just had to remind you that. That's all. With all that, Judge, I think it's all good in one. Thank you.
Master Starks?
Thank you, Judge, and thanks everybody either online or here in attendance. And congratulations, you have a wonderful daughter here. And Jay, I congratulate you. Keep up the good work. You're on the right path. And really, from Jefferson to South, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. So I think you'll do well. And I think this is just the beginning for you. You've got a new plaque. Find a nice place to put that at your home. But I'm sure it'll be joined by others as time goes on. And so best of luck to you. Good luck in your endeavors. Keep it up, okay? And enjoy your lunch. I know Butch will take good care of you there. I will mention this, the Henderson County High School Theater Department is having their spring production this weekend, so if you can, go out and see Sherwood. It's The Adventures of Robin Hood, which is one of my favorites, and it's going to be a fun show. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to the high school FFA, their plant sale, I think kicked off last week, and they may have a few plants left. Hopefully not, but you can check with them. That's a great fundraiser for them. Also, I'll let the judge talk about this, but there was a graduation for the FAME cohort, and so congratulations to them. Hope everybody enjoyed Tri-Fest. I know the weather was a little bit of a challenge, but again, a lot of good agencies serving up some really good food and raising some much needed money to provide services to a lot of folks in our community. And so, we've talked about natural gas and bridges and ditches and pestilence. With all that, everything else is good in District 5.
That's got to be the first time I've heard the word pestilence used in a fiscal court meeting. Jay, congratulations. We're going to get you out of here just in time for lunch. It didn't quite take this long, but congratulations again. Congratulations. It's a big deal, and thanks for hanging in there during a long meeting. I appreciate that, too. The FAME program, which is the Federation of Advanced Manufacturing Education chapter that we have here, graduated last night. When I was CEO of Kindle, we worked with Chris Williams to help create this program. It was based on a program that Toyota in Scott County created. And it's a combined academic and on-the-job training path where after 18 months of accelerated study and work, the students who graduate have an associate's degree and also certification in advanced industrial maintenance, which is a very needed profession and pays very well. And it grows every year. The cohort last night was 15, 16 students, and it is just a terrific partnership between the community college and our industrial community, and a lot of supportive partners, including Henderson Economic Development and United Way. And it's a pipeline for helping kids develop some skills and start off in great jobs. And, you know, our industrial community is always begging for more and skilled folks to bring on board, and this is one way we can grow them here at home in a way that also gives them the option to use that associate's degree and eventually pursue a four-year degree if they want. So I think for parents who worried that maybe in the past apprenticeship programs locked their child into some sort of, you know, career path that they may or may not follow in the future, this gives them options, either academic or skilled trade, win-win either way. And it's really amazing how that program has evolved. And Amanda Bloom Thompson, who is the guidance counselor and director of the program at community college, is a rock star, and she's just done a great job. It was a lot of fun. We're quickly approaching our first budgeting workshop for the new fiscal year. This Friday, I'll be sending out the draft as required by the state to our magistrates and also department heads, and then on May 6th at 3 p.m. right here, we'll have our first workshop. Hopefully that goes smoothly. The end of this fiscal year is coming to a close at the end of June, obviously, and we've had a very good year. Everybody's held the line on spending and at the same time making solid investments throughout their departments for the tools they need, and very proud of that. That's true every single year, and that performance gives us a chance to do things like we did today, where things pop up and we're able to take care of them without much stress. And so thanks again for those of you who are running departments. It makes a huge difference for us. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor can leave.